Morning everyone and welcome to the Senpai stream. So today we're going to do what we meant to do yesterday and talk about some Tarkir Dragonstorm cards that we're really loving. There's over 160 cards in the set revealed already. We're at 188 out of 233. So obviously we're not going to cover them all. We're just going to cover some of the big ones. Some of the ones that I'm probably biased towards. I do have my tendencies to swing Teamer, to swing Jeskai, and a little bit towards Mardu. But we're just going to cover some of the fun things that are out there, and then we're going to be jamming some Arena. Arena's going to be, we're probably going to play in the ranked queue, we might not, but either way, we're just going to play some of our more fun decks today, and just in general try to have a good time with it. So let's hop on in. We're going to start with the big 5 dragons. So each wedge is getting its own brand new mythic dragon, and these dragons, I can't see anything wrong with any of them. These all seem like incredibly fun cards. So let's start with Better. Better kin to all. 5/7 flying for 5. At the beginning of your end step, if you've got total toughness 10 or greater, draw a card. 20 or greater, untap each creature you control. 40 or greater, each opponent loses half their life. In Commander, I see this being personally a pretty big deal, and I can't wait to see what people build around this card as the Commander itself. I think this card has amazing potential. We've got so much ability in both green and white to make big wally things that we're going to get to 20 in a matter of 3 to 4 creatures, maybe. Considering that Better has 7 toughness itself, we're going to get there really quick. And then when we consider what Black brings to the table, things like Bloodletter of Aclazotz, doubling the amount of life lost. Well, if we're hitting 40, we're just going to one-shot someone no matter what life total they're at, which is hilarious and a little bit terrifying. And Bloodletter is a 4 toughness creature himself. So right off the get, between him and Better, we've got 11 toughness, which is going to get us that draw a card. 2 creatures, we're already drawing a card. It's fantastic. This is definitely, in my opinion, something to keep your eye on for Commander. We're going to see a lot of people building around that. This one, I don't know how to build around it, but I definitely want to see how people go about building around it. Shiko, Paragon of the Way, 4/5 Flying Vigilance for 5 mana. I believe that Vigilance adds a lot to it being a 5-drop 4/5. The ability to have it as both an attacker and a blocker, I always appreciate in my dragons. So when Shiko enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, copy it, and you can cast the copy for free. I know that there's a broken combo out there somewhere for it. I personally don't know what that combo is. I am not a walking magic dictionary, walking library. But yes, there's something out there that is going to break this card and create some kind of weird loopy combo. I just see it coming. Taval is our Sultai Dragon. A 6/6 flying lifelinker for 5. Already fantastic stats. A lifelink on a 6/6 for 5 and toss flying on top of it. Big fan of its stats right from the gate. But then we're tossing spells you cast have Delve. For right now, I'm going to assume that most people watching this stream or watching the recording afterward know a thing or two about Magic and know what Delve is. If you don't, it's right there in the reminder text. And that can get to be a big deal. Casting cheaper spells like a 8 or a 9 drop for 1 or 2 mana, that can be game changing. However, the flip side of this, I'll call it a seesaw card, is that whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. Ouchie. So yeah, you may pay that 8 drop for 1 mana, but you're gonna then lose 8 life. So that lifelink key on Taval is definitely going to be a thing. I'm not sure if this will see standard or even modern play. I can't foresee that. I'm not good. I will admit, first and foremost, that I am not a good enough deck builder and 60 card constructed to know if this is good enough to be in either of the big 60 card formats. It's possible that Pioneer this could see play in something like the old school exploration deck, where you would play from the original Ixalan set. You've got the exploration package, where whenever you explore, gain 3 life and put a +1/+1 counter on the dude. It's possible that if you combine that with this package, you've got something more there to work with. But again, I'm not a good enough deck builder in 60 card formats to really be able to diagnose that. It's just possible that something is there. So I think it's something to keep an eye on, and I'm really curious to see, again, what people do with this in Commander. When we move over to Mardu, and I do love me some Mardu, my love of Kalia and Edgar Markov is proof of that. And this definitely has a place in both those decks, but especially Kalia. We've got a 4/5 flying for 4. If a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. We're talking attack with Kalia, cheat this on the battlefield, and it's instantly going to deal 8 damage to whatever it's hitting. Fantastic piece of cardboard. And then when you cheat other things out with Kalia, they're also going to be doing dumb things. But then when we consider that this is red, and we have the ability to give haste, with especially in Commander with things like Anger or some Boots, we really have the potential for some creatures to come down and just whack some people in the face really, really hard. And I think this, with it being a 4-drop, I could see easily some standard Mardu coming back to the table and hitting hard. Could you imagine some kind of Mardu, like what we have now with red-white, with Emberheart Challenger, Monastery Swift Spear, those other dudes that have haste that we typically play in red-white, that just come out and attack, and you're going to bump them with Monstrous Rage and all those other pump spells. Imagine having this on the board and then doing that. Whew! Big damage. And then Temur. Of course, Temur has the highest mana cost on its dragon. Of course it does. And I really think in part that's because Temur and Tarkir Dragonstorm is really looking like it's going to be more of a lands matter color trio. It seems like there's a lot of things that really want you to up your landfall and do other crazy things with lands. But we've got a 10/10 for 8 that has flying protection white and black. So protection from colors that aren't it. It's already basically got Commander's Plate built into it. And then when it enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponents control, where X is the number of lands you control. I don't like that it can't hit players. I think that that's somewhat of an issue. But the fact that you can board wipe your opponent off this, because if we're already at 8, let's assume that we've just been ramping with no rocks, and we're going to deal 8, we're probably wiping some things off the face of the earth. We're going to wipe a Liliana off your board. We're going to wipe all kinds of crazy things off of your board. And we're going to do it with a smile, because we just got a flying 10/10 that you're not going to kill with any of the popular black removal spells that are out there. Because let's face it, most of the popular removal is in black right now, especially in Standard. So if we can get this out, we've just got a 10/10 that feels almost impossible to answer. Alright, see if our browser will... There we go. Browser's working. A couple of the other popular mythics we're looking at. We're looking at Purination for a 6-drop in Abzan that returns a permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield with a hexproof and indestructible. The fact that it's a permanent means that you can get back an enchantment, you can get back a creature, you can get back an artifact, and then it's going to give hexproof and indestructible. So anti-board wipe, anti-target, we are going to hard protect something that is out there. If we're talking bringing back our 5-drop commander, our protector, and our wall, and he's going to get hexproof and then indestructible, we're going to hit these 10, 20, 40 a lot easier if we can bring him back with hexproof and indestructible. This new Narset I really like, and she's definitely doing Narset things. She feels like a Narset. She costs Jeskai for a 3/4. At the beginning of end step, you can discard a card. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of spells you cast this turn. In Commander, I could see this being an amazing 3-drop Commander. Yes, it's one of each color, but then so is Animar, and Animar is a crazy CEDH Commander. Let's say you cast all kinds of crazy 1 and 2 drops. You're casting a Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, an Opt, a Brainstorm, and a Consider. 5 1-drop spells. You're left with nothing in hand, maybe. Well, at the end of turn, you don't discard anything, and you just get 5 cards back. I think it has the potential to be an amazing commander. I would love to see this paired with something like Hinata. For those that are not familiar with Hinata, it came out in the more recent Neon Kamigawa. And I'll just go find it, because I feel like it. Forgetting that I'm blind. There we go. All the way down to multicolor. This card was a very toxic and gross commander when it came out, and I hated playing against it. But when you pair this with something like the new Narset, it gets even crazier. So spells you cast cost 1 less for each target. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more for each target. So if you are targeting things, your spells are inherently cheaper. And one of the craziest things that happened with this, in my personal opinion, I'm going to go to TCG Player for pulling this one. And I believe this is the right card. Yeah, 100%. Heliod's Intervention. X, white, white. Destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments. So for white, white, you will blow up every one of your opponent's enchantments and artifacts on the field. And that's one of the many things that made Hinata such a crazy commander. They cost 1 less for each target. Okay, well, I'm going to target all my opponent's things. Each one only costs 1 to target with Heliod. So I'm not paying anything. Cool. And then there were cards in the Neon Dynasty set. Up. March of Swirling Mist was a big one. As an additional a cost to cast it, you can exile blue cards. It's reduced by 2 for each blue card you exiled. But up to X target creatures phase out. So you can phase out an entire board state for just a blue mana when you use Hinata to do it. Little crazy. Now when you consider Narset, for every spell you cast, you're going to draw a card at end of turn at the risk of discarding your hand. But Hinata is going to make anything that targets super cheap and give you more ability to run out your hand, and then at end of turn, Narset's just going to go wee and refill it. Crazy! I have high hopes for Narset as a commander. I've got the Jeskai deck I love. I love my Planeswalker Jeskai. I don't want to build another Jeskai, but I definitely want to see what people do with Narset, and I will be on Moxfield and EDH Rec seeing what's going on. As far as Mythic goes in Sultai, we're also looking at Death Begets Life. Destroy all creatures, and this is a big one, and enchantments. Draw a card for each permanent destroyed this way. So it's so weird to see the combination of drawing a card and destroying enchantments on the same card, but Sultai went and did it, and I absolutely love it. I think with a commander like Taval, where you can delve this into being a 3-drop, let's go. So you're going to pay 3, board wipe, draw some good cardboard. This is absolutely fantastic. All Out Assault, and we're talking another Mardu Mythic. Creatures you control get +1/+1, have Death Touch. When it enters, you get an additional combat phase, additional main phase. And when you next attack this turn, untap each creature you control. I think it's decent for a 5-drop enchantment. You've got your static, making your things bigger, giving them Death Touch, which is great. For those that haven't seen many of the spoilers, there are more spoilers that are going to give some of your stuff indestructible as well. So I think this is pairing well with what Mardu is trying to do this set. But then this opens up the possibility in Commander to blink this. We could see in white some blinking of an all-out assault going on. Am I crazy, or are there cards that give you benefits to casting cards with X costs? Stitches, there are 100% cards that give you benefits for casting things with X. I'm not going to go over them in this stream. Maybe we'll talk sometime about a deck tech for a Commander deck where we want to be paying X for everything. Those are usually Hydra-centric and not in Jeskai for like Hinata or Narset. But there are definitely a bunch of cards that benefit from X costs. And cards that will copy if you play something with X. Cards that will reduce the cost of X. Cards that will give you more mana towards paying X costs. It's definitely a deck thing, especially in Commander. And it's super fun to do. But we'll talk about that in a later stream. Is that a... That's the Pokemon pig. That is such a random emote for Twitch to have. Pokepig. Alright, again, I am biased towards Teamer, so we are absolutely loving this Teamer Dragonback Assault card. When this set, Lechonk, the Lechonk, chunky boy. But when the set was announced, it was announced we were going back to Tarkir, I immediately was like, okay, I love my Teamer Noodles, but we might have to steal the land base out of it temporarily to rebuild Miram for some Teamer nonsense in Dragons like we used to. Teamer Dragons was one of my favorite Commander decks that I've ever run, but it's one of the ones that I took apart because my play group found it overly oppressive and not fun, so we did them a favor and took it apart. However, this set really has me wanting to tool around with it. And I do still tool around with it on Arena with the cards that they have, but man. So for those not familiar with Miram is a great card from the second D&D set. Flying Ward 2, 6/6 for 6. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the copy isn't legendary, even if the card you cast is. Fantastic piece of dragon cardboard. So then we're talking making a non-legendary copy of Ureni, non-legendary copy of Stormscale Scion, non-legendary copy of the other big dragons from the second D&D set. Up. Such a big page. Ancient Silver, Ancient Copper, and Ancient Bronze are all in Miram's colors. And copying Ancient Copper, Ancient Silver especially, just feels so good to do. And then when we're copying like Terror of the Peaks and whatnot, it's delicious. This deck is absolutely fantastic to play. So Dragonback Assault, when it enters, it indiscriminately deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. So if you've got some, in Commander, if you've got some of your early game Dragon Ramp creatures out, your ones that provide, your Goblin dudes that provide a 1 discount or a 2 discount to your dragons, they're unfortunately going to go bye-bye to this, which feels bad. But at the same time, whenever a land you control enters, create a 4/4 red dragon. ridiculous. Land getting you a 4/4 is absolutely fantastic and not something we've really seen in Temur before. Not as far as Dragon goes. Yes, it can be argued that in green-blue or even Omnath in green-red, we've seen lands that enter and create as tokens. But when we're talking dragon-centric strategy, this is a huge first and a big deal for Dragon decks. I feel like this is fantastic. There's really just a few more cards that I want to cover in this stream before we get cracking on Arena. One of my favorites so far is Elspeth. I'm sick of Elspeth being printed. I think she has a great backstory. I've got nothing against her as a planeswalker, but in the past couple years, we've had a lot of Elspeths printed, and it's a little old. Maybe it's just because I'm Team Chandra, but I feel like we're getting too many Elspeths. But what this is a great 5-drop, especially in Standard, where we're now curving into a 4-drop mana, or 4-mana token doubler, a 5-drop token doubler, and a 6-drop token doubler. We're talking we can play Mondrak, Elspeth, or Doubling Season, and then Osier Talk on 4, 5, 6. We're talking token heaven. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many are created instead. The +1 is to create a 1/1 white soldier, which inherently is actually going to be 2. Great. +1, create 2. Let's go. But the real kicker here is the 0. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain flying. Wow. For a planeswalker that enters with 5 loyalty, to give that kind of boost to all creatures is a little wild. To my recollection, most planeswalkers that do something like this, it's a minus ability, and it only targets 1, maybe 2 creatures. Ajani will target and 1 creature, and it's his plus ability. But for 0 to do it to all is amazing. And then the -3 is, to me, reminiscent of Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Destroy target creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. So get something big off the field, and you can activate it right away since it's a -3 and she comes in at 5. So this new Elspeth is quite the interesting card, and could lead to some great things happening with token decks. I myself have a blue-green, white-green Black Panther token-centric deck, and this 110% will be going in that deck, without a doubt. Dracogenesis is one of the other big mythics from this set that is just crazy to see. Free dragons. Free dragons. 8-drop free dragons. We're going to be playing this in Commander Dragon decks every day of the week. Especially with things like Kindred Discovery, where whenever a dragon enters, we're going to draw a card. Whenever a dragon attacks, we're going to draw a card. We're going to have a really hard time running out of hand to play with something like Dracogenesis in a Temur dragon strategy. This is wild. Again, I don't think it's going to be a standard card. I think this card was printed primarily for Commander players, which Wizards has been doing more of, printing Commander-themed cards in their main set. But I'm kind of here for it. Craterhoof Behemoth is back in Standard. Again, those token-centric strategies that are running Elspeth that are going to ramp into this Craterhoof in Standard, these could see big things. And there's a lot of that's coming out in Standard, even in this set. Smile at Death, we're going to put Weenies back on the field. Anafenza, we care about Weenies. Voice of Victory, we care about Weenies. United Battlefront, we care about Weenies. And so some kind of green-white token strategy, which is already a thing in Standard and has topped multiple regionals, is mono-white tokens or green-white tokens. Now they get access to Craterhoof. I think we're going to be seeing a huge resurgence in the competitive scene of these token-centric strategies. I'm here for it. I love token decks. I think they're fun. Standard isn't really my big game. I think it's fun, but man, I'll tell you what, we're really going to see some fun decks with these. A lot of people are talking about Sib Sig Ceremony. I'm not here for it, but it does open the door to a lot of crazy things. Your creatures cost 1 less. When it enters, destroy it and create a 2/2. One of the big combos that I've seen people talk about with this is Acerak, who is a 3-drop from D&D. When he enters, if you haven't completed a dungeon, you pop him back to hand and venture into the dungeon. This with Acerak is going to let you dungeon search like crazy since he returns himself. You're going to get the 2/2 zombie druid, and then for 1 black, you're going to venture into the dungeon. Well, if you've got something that lets you sacrifice that zombie to make a black mana, then you're just going to go have fun all day, every day. Stormscale Scion, great card. Other dragons get +1/+1, so he's an Anthem dragon for 6, and he's got Storm. Combining that with Dracogenesis is going to be a big strategy. We are going to run our hand out of dragons. We're going to just play dragon after dragon after dragon after dragon, and then Stormscale Scion to make them all massive. And because we're in these colors, I can almost guarantee we're going to have some way of giving them all haste, and then just slam in. Or we're going to Terror of the Peaks and slam in a bunch of free dragons. There's so many things that red is doing. Even mono red dragons honestly has the ability to go absolutely ballistic with this set. Herd Heirloom, I just saw this one this morning. This was revealed yesterday. Mana of any color for a creature spell, so it's already a decent Arcane Signet type card. Tap until end of turn, target creature you control with power 4 or greater gains trample, and when it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Cool. Play Big Dumb Thing. Hit with Big Dumb Thing. Get card. I mean, it's doing what Timmy decks absolutely love to do. I feel like the new Sarkhan is a bit underwhelming, but has potential. I think that this Surak is absolutely amazing. Can't be countered, which is typical Surak type thing. It's got trample, typical Surak type thing. But whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability your opponent controls, draw a card. In Standard right now, that's a big thing. We're talking people are playing Leyline Bindings like crazy, black removal spells like wild. So the ability to benefit from that by drawing a card, yeah, they might get something, but we're going to draw a card, and then potentially we're going to answer what they're doing with something stupid like a Snakeskin Veil, or a Heroic Intervention, or a number of cards that are going to answer whatever they're targeting our stuff with, and we're like, cool, you gave me more cardboard, you wasted your cardboard, I'm good, let's keep playing. I think Surak is a fantastic card, and I really think that it's going to see play in like Pioneer Mono Green Devotion. I think this has a real good home there. Personal opinion, but I really think they should be running it. We've got some of these new Omen cards that are interesting, but I really don't want to spend much longer on talking about the set. I want to get to playing some games, so we're just going to cover a couple more. I just saw this card this morning too. When it enters, reveal from your deck till you hit a non-land. If its cost is 8 or less, play it for free. When a dragon enters, return it to your hand. So cool, we're going to breach, and then we're going to pray to hit Ureni, and then return this to hand. Ouchie. Huh. Ouchie. This just has wild potential to me. I think we could see some kind of weird mono-red control deck in Standard that's running this, and the only permanent it's running is maybe Ureni. I think that would be hilarious and a lot of fun. But that's just me, and that's how I think. I'm weird. Some of the cards that we're really loving. I think this is an underwhelming uncommon for sure. Rider Renewal is going to be decent. I don't know why we're seeing Snakeskin Veil again so soon when we just saw it in Foundations. We're getting into the common, uncommon realm, which there are some really good ones in this set. And I highly recommend taking a look at them because a lot of these commons and uncommons will have good homes index in every format. I think this set especially is going to do some popper shakeup. This set really has some popper potential in it. One of my favorite commons is Segu Wildling. He's a 5-drop, 3/3 with flying and gain 3 life, but his Omen is where he shines. For a green, you get a basic land card from your deck, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your library. If you're running 4 of these, you're never going to be land screwed in 60-card formats. The odds of you not having a land to play are slim to none. This is going to thin out your deck quick. This is going to get you where you need to be, and then you're going to end up just smacking face with a 3/3 flyer at some point when you're done omening it. Whether or not you're going to omen it, I don't know. Or whether or not you're going to cast it for its creature side, I don't know. But I think the Omen has real potential since Omens are shuffled back into the library. You can just cast these over and over and over. Running 4 of them feels more like running close to 16 of them at that point. One of the rares that I missed that I really love, and I want to go back over, Magmatic Hellkite, 4-drop, 4/5. Loving that already with flying. When it enters, destroy a non-basic land an opponent controls. They search for a basic and put it on the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it. For me, this has modern potential. This is easily a Jeskai control card where you're playing Furies, you're playing Solitudes, and you're playing that whole Jeskai control strategy. We're going to take our opponent off their non-basic, put them on a basic with a stun counter on it, so we're reducing their mana by 1 for a full turn, basically. And then we're going to blink this card, which is what I like to do in my Jeskai control strategies. We're going to blink it with an Ephemerate, bring it back onto the field, take them off another non-basic, take them off of more mana, and in Modern right now, we're only seeing maybe 5 to 6 basics per deck. If we can take them off of their first few non-basics, we're going to set them back many turns. I believe this even hurts our low-cost Boros energy decks, even though they're only running like 2 drops. Sure, but I'm going to hit your land and stun you, and then after I've hit you to like your 4 basics, this is now a strip mine on a stick. That's fun to me, and it's a very, very strong denial strategy in my opinion. Scroll. More cardboard, more good commons and uncommons. Again, we're already at the 30-minute mark for this stream, so we're not going to cover too much. I wonder if, here it is. This is a good comment that I saw this morning for the first time. Alicia's Legacy, 1 and a black, instant speed. Target creature you control gains death touch, indestructible. Whack! Goodbye to your thing, my thing's gonna stick around. Thanks for playing. My wife plays a Kalia deck, and I'm pretty sure that that's going in there. Because Kalia is only a 2/2, so she needs some help. So swing with Kalia, put out Big Thing for free. Give Kalia death touch, indestructible. Thanks for coming. Whatever you blocked with is gone. And then when we come down here into colorless, Flamehold Grappler. Oh my god, this card. For just Jeskai, a 3/3 first strike. When it enters, copy the next spell you cast this turn. Not the next instant or sorcery, the next spell. That's wild. And for a 3/3 first strike for 3 in Jeskai, there are so many things that you can do with this in both Commander, Standard, and Modern. I love this card personally. I think Jeskai is getting the cards it's deserved for a long time. Personal opinion is that in Standard, Jeskai has not really had the love it deserves. I believe it's just like Standard Is It. Whenever they print a Ravnica set and it doesn't get the right attention, it doesn't get the strong enough attention, that's not true in Dragonstorm at all. It's getting so much love and attention and crazy good cards. We're gonna love what we see with this. Fangkeeper, strong card, not gonna necessarily cover it. I think it's really cool that we're getting new sieges that instead of saying dragons or Tarkir, they're being printed in 2 out of 3 wedge colors, and you get to choose a wedge to align with instead of dragons or Tarkir. I think that's a really cool thing that they're doing with these. Now this is actually a fresh reveal to me. This is one I haven't seen before, but we've got a new Jeskai instant. Next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent it. When that damage is prevented, Way of the Future deals that much damage to that source's controller, and you draw that many cards. Whew! So, someone swings at you with a 10-10, stop that damage, deal 10 to your opponent, and draw 10 cards. Yeah, Jeskai is getting good love this set. 100% Jeskai is getting good love this set. Fangkeeper's Familiar, amazing flash card for Sultai. Flash when it enters, you get to pick one. You gain 3 life and Surveil 3, destroy target enchantment, or counter a creature spell. All 3 of these are great modes and very strong modes. Whether it's Commander or even Standard. You're going to get your 3/3 Flasher and you're going to counter a creature, or you're going to destroy an enchantment. Or in this set, it really matters, you want to be milling and surveilling those cards into your graveyard to do crazy Sultai things. So this Snake, fantastic cardboard. More sieges. Rediscover the Way, this is a fresh look for me, I haven't seen this one. Look at the top 3, 1 in hand, rest on bottom. Great for modes 1 and 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, target creature you control gains double strike. So, once again, Jeskai is doing what Jeskai loves to do. We're giving double strike. We're casting non-creatures. I love it. I love it. Great Mardu instant that can't be countered. Exile something and drain 3. Great card. Sonic Shrieker, great for an uncommon, personal opinion. I think that's a great uncommon. It borders on the effect of a rare. So much love to be had here in these dual cards where we got split costs, 2 in a blue, 2 in a red, 2 in a white, 2 in a black, 2 in a green, or 2 or a white. I think there's a lot of love to be had in these cards. This is an Indomitable Creativity that also stuns a creature for 3 turns. I think that could see some Standard play, for sure. Modern, I don't think so as much, but I think Standard for sure. More of them. Now, when we get into the colorless cards, we're going to work our way up on this one because I want to save this guy for last. This was a great reveal that I just saw this morning. Dragon decks are going to absolutely go bonkers for this. 3-drop Commander Sphere, basically, where we're getting a mana of any color, but then each dragon you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Love it! Play big things that just get bigger. Wonderful cardboard. We've got the Mox Jasper that gives us a mana of any color as long as we control a dragon. Cool. 0-drop Mox with a great stipulation to it. In Commander, this is not going to be hard to do. There's tons of 2-drop dragons that we can put on the field and make quick use of this. Now, one of my favorite cards for this set, because as much as I love dragons, I also, one of my second or third favorite archetypes, as far as creatures go, is Eldrazi, and colorless Eldrazi in particular. Ugin Eye of Storms. Whenever you cast, exile 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. When he's on the field and you cast a colorless spell, exile it to 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. So we are getting heavily rewarded for casting colorless spells, and we're just going to take our opponent's stuff out of the equation. When you consider that there's a 6-drop Ugin and an 8-drop Ugin to follow this card up with, we are talking about doing very crazy things to our opponent. We're actually going to flip over here into one of the decks that we're going to be playing today. Probably quicker if I just did it this way. Where are you at? But there it is. Alright. This has the 6 and the 8-drop Ugin in it, so it makes it easy for me to show it off. 6-drop, Ugin the Ineffable. Color spells you cast cost 2 less. So if you've got him out already, now we're talking about a 5-drop Ugin that's going to give you benefits for casting colorless spells. Destroy target permanents, one or more colors, make 2/2s and get free cardboard. And then 8-drop Ugin from the original Tarkir block. Deals 3 damage to a target, exile each permanent with mana value X or less, that's one or more colors, and then draw 7 cards and put up 7 permanent cards from your hand on the battlefield. Fantastic. Fantastic cards. And now we're putting a 7-drop Ugin in the middle of them, who greatly benefits us for playing colorless cards. Gain 3 life, draw a card. For a +2, I'll take it. I'll take it every day of the week. But the 0, 3 colorless mana, if we're sitting on an Ugin that's already reducing us by 2, and this is not just 3 generic colorless mana, but 3 actual colorless, we're talking about casting cheap Kozileks. We're talking about casting Reality Smashers. We're talking about casting Thought-Knot Seers for next to nothing, or nothing at all, basically. And it's just so gnarly to imagine what this is going to do, especially in the realm of Arena and potentially Modern, because Modern is already seeing an Eldrazi resurgence. But then the big kicker, the 11. So yes, this is a +2, so we go 9 then 11. So in 2 turns we can ult it, but we really want to see if we can proliferate it at least once with something like a Karn's Bastion, because we want him to stay on the board for this ult. Search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards, exile them, shuffle. Until end of turn, you may cast those cards without paying their mana costs. So when you cast a colorless spell, exile things. So keep him on the field, cast a free Ulamog. Ulamog says when cast, exile 2 permanents. He says exile a permanent. So we're going to exile 3 cards off of a free 10/10 Indestructible. We're going to cast a free Kozilek and completely refill our hand and exile a card. We are going to cast a free of the other Ulamog, exile half our opponent's library. This card in colorless decks is an absolute menace. This card will not be cheaper than $35, and I am calling it now. This card, even after the market settles, after pre-release, after full release, and the market starts to hit its flat point like it has now for Aether Drift, this will not be below a $35 card. I don't see that happening. That's personal speculation, and yes, I'm a little biased. I don't see it dropping below that point because of the crazy things that this card can do. We've got a beautifully illustrated and actually decently affected rare land cycle in this set. I highly recommend checking those out. We're seeing the return of our tricolor uncommon lands. We're seeing a return of the enter the field, gain a life duels, which is neato. And then the star of the land show, in my personal opinion, are these gorgeous basics. We've got Mana Symbol Dragon Eyes, and we've got Dragon Shadows. I believe all of these are some of the most beautiful lands that I've seen in recent months, and I really hope that they're not extremely low print like I'm fearing they're going to be in the main set, because I want dozens and dozens of each one of these. I want these in every deck I can throw them in because they are gorgeous. Again, I am biased. I love dragons. I've loved dragons since I was a little kid, like most boys. So I am a little biased, but I think these are phenomenal. and very thematic lands. And then we've got this is good illustration in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with these. They do have great art for basics, but these, whew. When we look into Commander, we're seeing great Commander pairings for each of the decks. We haven't seen what Abzan's full list is yet, but we have seen what Jeskai is bringing to the table, and with its new Commander exclusive cards. Go check this out. Highly recommend this deck. I love Jeskai. I will be picking up a full 5-pack of the Commander decks for this set because so good. Sultai has a great pair, and then the Commander exclusive cards in this set are bonkers as well. Especially when we're talking Steward of the Harvest. I saw someone post the most ridiculous combo in the world with this last night, and it takes everything in me not to actually play that combo. So when this creature enters, exile up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard. Creatures you control all have activated abilities of all land cards exiled with this creature. One of the most common things is, cool, all my creatures are Gaia's Cradle. All my creatures are adding any mana color, etc. Someone posted that you can exile Strip Mine with this, and now all your creatures are Strip Mine. So for those that are not familiar with Strip Mine, again, I don't like to assume you know much about Magic. I like to treat everyone pretty equally. Strip Mine. Let's go with a pretty one. Sacrifice Strip Mine. Destroy target land. Not target non-basic. Not target special land. Just destroy a land. I run, again, a green-white token deck that makes a bazillion tokens, and I would love to sacrifice those tokens to take all my opponents off of all of their land. It's brutal, it's disgusting, I shouldn't do it, I want to do it, but for the sake of my pod, I have already told them I'm not gonna do it. As bad as I want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. I promise, guys, I'm not gonna. Will of the Sultai, Diviner of Mist, these are all very strong Sultai cards. Mardu was fully announced and released. Infantry Shield, great card. Bone Devourer, Will of Mardu, they all have a Will card. And then Teamer, only a couple cards have been revealed. We're talking about the Commanders, and then these should be in all the Commander decks, but this beautiful Arcane Signet that I need like 20 of. This wonderful Soul Ring that I love the art on for this set or this theme specifically. I'd want this in most of my Dragon decks. This Command Tower that I think is okay, but I still think has great art. I do appreciate the art of it. And then wonderful, wonderful Teamer Commanders themselves. These Commanders are beautiful and just fantastic effects. Anytime you get to put a free dragon onto the field, I'm absolutely here for it. So that's all I'm going to cover for the spoilers myself. We are at about the 50-minute mark on this stream. I've spent more than enough time talking about these, in my opinion. So check out mythicspoiler.com. Check out more of the spoilers for yourself. I'm really curious to see what people are going to build, especially for Commander when it comes to this set. I think this set, it has so much versatility in it for Commander creativity that we're going to see some wonderfully crazy things in Commander, and I cannot wait to play against people and see what they do with this set. Hopefully I'll see some more fun decks than I will oppressive decks, but I know both are going to happen and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. So let's jam some games. Alright, so we said we're going to have fun with this today. I see 4 people watching the stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll through my decks here. And this is every format. This is standard. This is historic. This is their version of one-on-one Commander called Brawl. I'm just going to scroll through here. And if someone sees something they want me to play or that they're curious about, just put it in the chat, and I will be more than happy to give it a go. Win or lose, we'll play at least 1 or 2 games with whatever you pick. And if no one picks anything, then I'll just roulette it and pick something myself. And then we roll into what is not built or what has illegal cards in it. Scroll up just to give another look. Okay, so that's what we got. I don't see anything in the comments yet, so what we're gonna do is I've got some dice here at my table that I got from one of my LGSs. It's got their logo on it, and won't show it. I can't show it on cam right now, but they're really cool. Take my word on it. I'm going to. Well, I'll tell you what. Instead of randomizing the format, since no one picked anything. It looks like today's goal for me is to cast 20 blue or green spells. So let's just go with that theme. Let's start by trying to hit that goal, and then we'll come back to it and see if anyone wants to speak up then. So blue or green? Blue or green? This has a fair amount of blue or green, so let's go to regular play, explorer, and we'll play some Doppeli Dragon Princess. We did that yesterday too, but I'm a huge fan of this deck. Doppelgang is easily one of my favorite cards out of the last few sets. Doppeli, Doppeli, Doppeli. Alright, I go first. I have a easy early game Spell Pierce, an easy early game Growth Spiral, and then some halfway decent follow-up. So I think we're just going to take it and run with it. Shocking. Okay. We'll play this untapped, so we're playing against at least Rakdos, if not Tricolor. I don't want you having that. I know what that card means. And I did slightly misplay there. I should have played the Growth Spiral to put this into play, and then gone from there. So that is my misplay, but we'll see if we end up paying for that mistake. You gonna kill my Durgan? You're gonna kill my Durgan. Bye, Durgan. Yep, and that's why we countered the oven. That is precisely why we countered the oven. And now we're not seeing land. Come on, land. Hey, land. What up? Bye. I'm not giving him the chance to get the oven. Oh, he's got no play. He's got no play. He's got no play. Boop. So Smoldering Egg is a weird card because we almost never flip it. Most of the time we're just using it as a random blocker. But in this case, if we doppel for 2, which makes this an 8-drop, it's gonna flip. So, you know, it's got potential as a card. Now he's got the oven. Which means he's gonna start sacrificing rats. Oh, but he's not gonna attack. It's not worth it to him. There's the scoop. We didn't even get to doppel. We just got a scoop out of him because double Terror of the Peaks is disgusting and he knows it. Alright. Green and blue. Green and blue. Simic EX Doppel. Let's give it a shot, shall we? I don't even remember this deck. I completely forgot I had it. It's been so long since I played it. But we don't like playing the meta, so I guaranteed you're going to be here for a unique experience. Everybody enjoying Samurai Cat? Samurai Cat. Samurai Cat. If Samurai Cat ever goes deadpan and is just staring you guys in the face, it's because my camera lost track of me. I like to keep a dark house, and sometimes that happens. OP goes first. We've got a Mirror Box, a Rona, big old Como. I don't even remember what this deck really looks like. I don't remember what the 60 looks like, so we're just going to play it and go for it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, we learned. We like playing dumb stuff. Four color? That's interesting, to say the least. Could have played the Rona, but I kind of wanted to ramp the Growth Spiral. And it's that beautiful Strixhaven Rona, or Strixhaven Growth Spiral. So he's playing 4-color land. I'm really curious to see what happens. Can't block it. Play a land and I take 3. Okay, you're gonna deal 4 to my beast. Got it. That hurt. Play Rona, play Box. Oy vey. Alright, boyo. Give me something here, Arena. If he plays a land, we just take the L. Yep, there it is. Take the L. That did not go even decent. Just had every answer every step of the way. Let's try again. Ooh, piece of candy. Up front, I am under the weather, so if you hear me guys coughing on the stream, I do apologize. We got cough drops, we got drinks, and because I feel so-so, we also have chocolate. Oh, that's right. We'll go for it. Ooh, shocky, shocky. Oh, we playing kitties. I do love kitties. Please tell me he's not playing that moho-free trash Ocelot Pride. Well, if he is, he doesn't have it yet. Turn to Rona. Bigger kitty. Blocking. Now we've got the Doppel. We're not going to bother doing all that untapped shenanigans. Pass. Let's see what he does. Okay, that's fair. Ooh, that hurt. That's big kitty. That's a very big kitty. Yeah, you don't want to attack with that. I don't think we win this one either. I think Arebo just goes way too wide too fast for us to get there. Yeah, we're just gonna... Yeah. They went way too wide for us. It happens. This deck was not meant to necessarily be good, it was just meant to be fun, because I like playing Doppelgang, I like playing stupid stuff like Jin. So we're mostly just playing this for our daily goal of playing the 20 blue-green spells, and attempting to have some fun with it. I don't like not having any early turn plays. This is really iffy. Our opponent doesn't have a companion, so there's nothing to reveal what they're playing. Mulligan, keep 6. Take Jin out of the equation? I guess? Oh, we got another Thrix. We should have just put it back like we wanted to. Live and learn. Okie dokie. What's you up to, buddy? Oh, are you on the elemental plan? That was a great timely draw, by the way. So likely we run out Thix, and then if Thrix lives, we play our Henge. Ugh, this is so iffy. Okay, so he's on the land ramp plan too. What, you got another Growth Spiral sitting there in hand, buddy? Nope. Yeah, this time we actually are going to do that. More dorks. Okay. Okay. What are you building up to? Okay. I'll tell you what, if all of this lives, we are set up for a wonderful doppelganger on the next turn. Don't know what is going to be worth doppling at that point, but we'll see. God, what is he doing? Big Crisis. Okay, that's fair. Big Crisis. Okay. Okay. Play that tap, play CD. Discard. We're really digging here for something that's a little more decent, but I don't think we're gonna hit it. We were digging for our mirror box so that we could copy our legendaries and not worry about it. Oh, yep, there's Omnom. Worried about that. What you gonna hit? That's fine. That's not fine. Nissa who shakes them tatas.
Surges through these lands. Harness the elements.
Yep, I'm gonna take the 8. Alright, we're gonna waste the first one. Let's see. 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we can do X equals 3? No. 1, 2, 3? I think that's how you want to do it? We only get to keep one Nissa, but whatever. Die? 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 Thanks for making a non-legendary one, I really appreciate it. Do an island. Growth spiral. You're not looking for sure. Play more land. Now we can stand up to the Hydroid Crisis. And we're refilling our hand. This is kind of fantastic. Okay, got another Omnath. That's cool. Got one of my Omnaths. That's fair. Okay. Okay. What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk up in your trunk? Ooh, that hurt.
I came into being long before your kind ever existed.
Okay, that's fair.
Do not include you.
Swing for 8, that's cool. You're not gonna like me. Okay, let's see here. Make you bigger, make you bigger. More stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I think we can X for 4 this time? One, 2... Oh god, no. We can X for way more than that. We can X for... I think 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah, we could have done it for so much more. We did it! We did it! Omnath dealing 36 when it ETBs. We did it! Oh man, we actually could have doppeled for 2 more than we did. Because these guys didn't even tap. I did my math wrong. We could have done it for like 7 or 8 for the doppel. Oh man, Omnath's entering, non-legendary Omnath's entering and dealing 36 to whatever I want. Man, that is so nasty. Oh, I love it so much. That was one of my favorite doppels. I've played a lot of doppels and done a lot of things with doppel. That was probably one of my favorite hits. So crazy. There's nothing like having 15 or 14 Omnaths and let's see, 18, 21 elementals that'll all tap for two mana against an opponent who at most could bounce things because they're not in destruction colors. Oh, so good. Yes, Stitches, get wrecked. Absolutely. There's nothing like getting wrecked by a good doppel. That also should have met our quota for blue-green spells for the day. Yep, that met our quota. So now we got more coins to work with for when Dragonstorm comes out. We can get some Dragonstorm packs for our arena account. Alright, now that we're done with that, let's go over into Ranked. And I mentioned my love for Eldrazi. I kind of showed the deck earlier on. Let's actually play it now. I like it and I don't. We have our early game Scryland. We have at least one rock. We've got double monument. I just wish the line to get to the monument was cleaner. We're definitely going to be relying on top decks for this. He's playing a low to the ground Lurrus deck too, which is concerning. Oop, mixed arts. That's who we're playing against? Apparently we're playing against a 10-year-old, and we're probably going to lose to a 10-year-old. Okay. Cool, we drew our lands, which we really wanted to see. And we're going to guarantee that we've got 5 mana for next turn so that we can Forsaken Monument and start having fun. Oh, this piece of garbage art. He's playing Soul Wardens, he's playing Voice. I'm surprised I didn't see it sooner. That was stupid. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can do a turn, 5 Spaghetti Scoop? Okay, he's got another voice. But this time he's only gaining 1 life, because he's dumb. Oh, come on! Of course he had the prison. 5, 8, 9, 10. If he plays a creature, we just lose. Man, that's a 3rd Voice of the Blessed at that. Gotta love it. There goes our last pip in Platinum Tier 4. It's probably our fault. We are playing an iffy deck. It does lose to high aggro decks like that. But having triple Voice of the Blessed and double Soul is just... ew. Better. Let's get rid of the Hedron. We don't want that. Jobby boys. We definitely want that. See if this is one of the goblin players that we have to constantly remind that they have a trigger that they can activate, or an activated ability they can activate. Okay. Okay. We're gonna put this out there. There's a blocker. If it gets killed, let's at least hope it gets us a land. Okay, that's fair. Oh boy. Yep. Cost double red, sack, sack. Now sack, sack. Interesting man to not have attack. You might come to regret that. Because now my Matter Reshaper doesn't get run over by his goblins. Oops. Whenever you cast a creature spell, seek a lesser one. Okay. 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 Yep, get you another goblin. What you gonna get this time? Using cheaty little arena cards, but sure. This is ridiculous. If we lose this match, it's because of a fake card. I don't mind losing real games of Magic. I mind losing against fake cards. Okay. That's all you're attacking with? You might regret that. Yeah, you're gonna regret that. There we go. There we go. Now we're doing dumb, colorless things. Let's try that again. See if we can do it again. Do 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 do. Again, I don't like it. We've got two Ulamogs here, but do we really have a way to work to it? Hope and a prayer, hope and a prayer, hope and a prayer. Buddy Lorcana Craze has a whole deck called Hope and a Prayer. Which, honestly, I would like to borrow for League Night sometime. If you're watching this and hear this, I would like to borrow Hope and a Prayer for League Night. I think it'd be fun. I know you did it as a joke. I'm gonna do it as a joke too, but in person. You gonna keep opponent? Are you even there? Are you alive? He's alive. Okay. Okay. We're not really too scared of this yet. See what happens with the Thought Knot. We'll see what he's holding. What you got, big boy? What's hiding in that hand of yours? Oh, you messed up. You just gave me 2 more choices. You can't take it with that, so we'll do that. You cannot claim the firstborn, my Thought Knot. Okay. Play this. Play this. Play this. And pass. We're just gonna hold up blockers. Oh, shoot. That he can claim. I don't think he has a sack outlet, though, or at least he didn't when I... Okay, he might have drawn one. That is so my bad. I think I messed that up. Yeah, he drew a sack outlet. That's my fault. I should have known better. I knew he had the claim in hand. I should have just kept it. Bye-bye. I just don't want Arena constantly asking me if I want to activate it. Okay. Okay. Let's go.
This is for our protection.
Now we're crack-a-lacking. That's weird. Why it moved my Thought Knots way off to the side like that? What you gonna do, boo-boo? What you gonna do? Okay. Karn takes 1. You can't activate the treasures? Sure.
Please stop.
Yeah, you can get the treasures. You can't activate them. Sucks to suck, doesn't it? Okay. Okay. Sure. You can't activate your treasures. They are going to sit there. Oops. I don't think he realized he couldn't activate the treasures. That was totally a misplay on their part. We're kind of bored of that. We got 2 viewers, it looks like, live. So we're gonna rerun through our decks. If no one comments on anything they want to see played, I'm gonna do a random roll for format and then a random roll for deck. So we'll just go through and then we'll go back up. Judith. Okay. Judith is a brawl deck, a commander deck. We'll play that. Brawl. Judith. Let's go. Appreciate the interaction, Stitches. Make sure you're collecting your watch points down there on Twitch. There's a little green button that you'll see by the chat box. Make sure you're collecting them there points. Not the best hand, not the worst hand. I'm willing to roll with it. It got better. Yep. I should have played the Memorial first. That's my bad. I like misplaying. What am I talking about? I do that on purpose. Stick. Play this on Shaman. Play a ring. He's gonna get to draw a card. Bite me, Princess. Oh, he's playing the new Aether Drift Commander. Interesting. What's even funnier is we just saw someone on Facebook who was like, oh yeah, Commander cards never come to Arena. Bet. Bet. They've actually been pretty good about that lately. Okay. Sure. Hi, Judy. Judy, 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 no. I'm not gonna sing on stream. Now the Beatles is stuck in, now the Beatles is stuck in my head. Every time I play Judith, Beatles is stuck in my head. I probably should have waited to play, yeah, I should have waited to play the Judith until I could have backed it up with the Not Dead After All, but it's whatever. Again, my fault for misplaying. Can't blame anyone else. And see, there's the land to do it with, too. Let's play a fiery and pay the 1. And then we'll pass. Okay.
This isn't your average zombie
Okay.
war. Necromancy is a lot like cooking turnips.
We're gonna wait to get one more land to play Judith again, so we can back it up with Not Dead After All again. There went your lily. Hope you didn't want it. Let's not waste it. He can have the children. Bye. Fun card, but not helpful. Let's cycle this. That's a little more helpful. Man, he's just getting all the land he could ever want right now. Fight. Aww. Come on! Yep, you've got 2 colorless mana. I hope you have so much fun with it. And then we just lose to a bunch of flying zombies. I don't know if the misplays added up or if we were just going to lose that one regardless. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah. Well, that's a red hand. Sure. Why not, right? Against Delaney, we're going to want to have the ability to kill weenies, and that's pretty much exactly what we've got here. So, we'll work with it. Yep. Yep. Get out of my sight. Marcana, re-downloaded Arena on my comp. Games are going iffy. They are most definitely iffy, especially if they keep up like this. Oh, yep, Heir Apparent. Glad I destroyed the last one. Let's destroy this one too. Bye. Playing Commander, right? Yeah, this is Commander more or less. It's called Brawl, which is like Arena's online one-on-one. A lot of Omnath. Yes, that was a lot of Omnath earlier. That was so much fun. Now we're up to 4 mana. Really not loving this too much, but we'll get there. Oy vey, come on. Cavern of Souls. We're gonna call Shaman, which is what Judith is. And then, do we risk playing the Judith? Or do we wait? I think we risk it. I think we're just gonna play Judy. Judy, 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 Judy. Yeah, I like playing Jank in Brawl too. That's more or less what this is Judith Jank. I have a lot of fun playing it. I played it in Real Commander too, and it was borderline oppressive. But man, is it fun. And you'll see why in just a second. Okay. You're gonna make you some bunnies. You're gonna gain you some life. Very cute. Yep. Yep, your little dudes can't be blocked by my big dude. You're gonna make a copy of a token. That's cool. Gain a little bit of life. I can't block those. But that's fine. You know why that's fine? So we're gonna start with a Gutter Snipe. And then we're gonna kill everything you own. Spell gains Death Touch Lifelink. 1 damage to board wipe. Your jank is not jank enough for me. Yeah, no, my jank isn't jank enough for a lot of people. Yep, this deck turns a 1-drop that deals 1 damage into a complete board wipe. I absolutely love it. And then, for good measure, destroy artifact. Goodbye to your... Yep! Oh, so good. So good. That was a fun match for us, not so much for OP. Why so salty, Delaney? Exactly. Well, he's probably so salty because it would have been extremely hard for him to come back from that in mono white. He would have had to gone for a board wipe, and, yeah, exactly. They went way too wide. They thought they could get away with playing those spells and just going as wide as possible. Thought he was going to be able to get in the early game damage because of it. Gotta read the card. Gotta read what my commander does. Let's go to it. Let's actually check this list. So let's go to Brawl. And Judy. Alright, Judith. Carnage Connoisseur. When this card was revealed from Murder at Karlov Manor, I knew I had to play it. Knew I had to play it, hands down. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, choose one. It gains Death Touch and Lifelink, or you create a 2/2 imp that when it dies deals 2 to each opponent. Yes, rule number 1 in Magic is always RTFC. Read the card. So, what's great about giving any instant sorcery Death Touch Lifelink is there's so many 1-drops in this game that deal minimal damage or that deal damage to all of your opponent's creatures that I want you to go wide. I want you to overextend because I'm only going to spend 1 mana making sure that you lose everything. Blazing Volley, 1 damage to each creature. And the Festivities, 1 damage to each creature. 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 1 damage to each creature. Sorin's Thirst is Drain for 2, destroy an artifact. And we've just got tons of stuff like this where we're going to give these things lifelink and death touch so that even if you've got a 10-10, we're going to make sure that your 10-10 does not exist much longer. Do you want to watch me time out? Yeah, I mean, same as you, I've got an open invitation to to my streams, so if you want to jam a game, we can absolutely jam a game. I don't think I have you listed as a friend on Arena, but we can remedy that. Profile. So if you're in Arena and you want to add me, there's my name and number. Just go ahead and add me real quick, and we'll play a game for sure. Sent. Alright. Requests. Zeku? Alright. Very unique. Let's see. Deck type. Friendly Brawl. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Best of one, based on a coin flip. Nope, none of these are permanent. Nope, nope. Okay, challenge match. There we go. Friendly Brawl, best of one, based on a coin flip. I will play... Well, if you're going to time me out anyways, let's just go with God Brawl. Challenge is sent, buddy. Play. Oh, this hand's terrible. Oh, what is this hand even? We're just gonna keep it anyways. We don't care. Five color first sliver. Alright, I'm curious. You have my attention. Ping! Ping! Battle of the Top Lands. Battle of the Tap Lands. Tap, 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 tap. Oh boy. Alright. Yep, there's the trickery. Yep, you hit it. Alright, we did not draw a board wipe. Which means we just lose. All good. Want to cast your commander again? Oh. Do you actually have the 10? You do. Alright. Well, GG. That was definitely interesting. I will be happy to not play against it again. Alright, let's go back to what we do. So we're showing off fun decks. Let's show off Door. I showed off Door yesterday, but I love this deck so much. Door of Destinies is one of my favorite win conditions in all of Magic. And when you get to pull it off, is just, to me, one of the funniest things ever. Is it expensive? You're talking like 3 real cards and a bunch of gates. It feels like it would be cheap. I play all the temples and deserts. Well, the temples don't cost over $1 a piece. And the deserts are like 25 to 50 cents a piece. It shouldn't be all that bad. Oh, yeah, dude, the temples have been reprinted into the dirt. They're in, like, every commander deck. Every other set seems to have them in something. They've just been reprinted into the dirt. I don't think any of the temples costs over $1. Alright. We're on track to do what we want to do, that's for sure. What you got? Okay. A little bit of Dova control, stop me from dealing damage if you want. My stuff costs a little more. Artifact instant sorcerers cost 1 more. It's not a big deal. We're here on turn 5 or turn 4 with 11 mana already. So this has potential. Okay. You have a Jace. You're gonna loot scoop. That's fine. I'm going to Tiana. I'm gonna get some buyers. Thank you, sugar. Y'all are gonna have to excuse me a little bit here on stream. It is my wife's lunch break, and she just brought me some delicious grilled cheese, so I will be munching while I play. Like me some grilled cheese and chips. Got to go to the store. Catch you later. Alright, Lurkon, I'll catch you later, man.
You reek so
Subservience will be rewarded.
So some kind of blue-black planeswalker control, it looks like? I mean, sure. Okay. I'm seeing a very interesting deck here. You have to proceed to do something, dude. Come on. Okay. Let's activate. We'll take the card draw. And get rid of the other Celestis. Okay. Let's do these two things. We're going to exile your graveyard. We're going to get more land. We're not going to bother attacking. We will, however, take this action. We don't want that.
My hatred lives.
Excuse my ring doorbell. The cats love walking across our porch. Just neighborhood cats. Okay, you're gonna plot a card. You're gonna plot a Kaito. That's fair.
All figured out.
Okay. I'm not mad about what got milled. Sure. Exile creatures, exile graveyards? Question mark? Yep.
Let's try this.
Still not mad about it. I'm really wondering what he's going for here.
I always reward the loyal.
So this is my opponent. I'm not impressed. Keep both eyes open. Hope you're ready for some mind games.
Okay.
It's like your
You have a
defenses
ninja.
aren't even there.
I have a door. I can't win with it this turn, but we can hope to win with it next turn.
Plans to keep things fresh.
I'm really concerned that he's just going to win here. He's got so many effects on board.
Cunning than I thought.
Okay.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
Okay. Thanks for getting rid of 2 lands. I appreciate it. Loot scoop. Okay. Okay.
I got fresh intel.
Are you gonna take another turn? Okay.
My words are for ambitious.
He must be trying to take another turn or something. Okay, cautious. Sure.
When I win, I'd love
That doesn't
feedback
bother
on
me.
Which spell impressed you the most? I am the master of the
Okey-dokey.
dead here.
Why did you minus it? Okay.
Do what I demand.
Is this where you end the game? Or where you end your turn? Because if it is, good game. Good game. Bye-bye. Whee! Get doored. The door got shut on you. So good. Good old door. Alright. We've played a lot of Arena. We've done some talking about the new set. I think we've achieved our goals for the day for this here stream. I need a break, and the new solo leveling goes live in 13 minutes, and I am for sure watching that immediately. So, until later, I will catch you guys. You have fun, stay safe, do what you gotta do. Have a good one.